knock, and I said, wow, very interesting, very nicely done. Who is he? And so we got, got him to come over and sit down, and we talked to him and became friends.
That's 61.
61,
Just when Bob arrived.
yeah.
Yeah. Now, before Mike Porco had this idea of open mic nights, there was a place called the American Youth Hostels. On Sunday nights after Washington Square folk singing was over, that place would open. And people would get up and play. It was based on some idea about hootenannies.
Mm-hmm.
I know about this because my brother was working there at the American Youth Hostels, and he kind of allowed these things to happen. So that nothing happened just like that. It always came from something before.
Yeah.
And this is our opportunity to kind of talk about those things.
Sure. Well, the hootenanny presentation kind of involved everybody on stage together in a semicircle. So people were not constantly being introduced and all of that. Everybody would be introduced, and then you would get up and you would sing your song, sit back down, and then maybe you would get up and accompany somebody. And it was that kind of format that I always enjoyed. They use it at a lot of folk festivals now.
What's interesting to me is that you said everybody was on stage.
Yeah.
The hootenannies that I remember, there was no stage.
Ah.
So that just people got up and talked, and some sat at one end of the room because they were performing more. But there was no stage and audience thing. Tom Paley, who was with the New Orleans City Ramblers, and myself, we were both students at Yale. He was a math professor. I was a graduate student in visual arts. And we had hoots. That was the format. And so it's interesting how
things evolve.
Yeah, how they evolved. As a matter of fact, at the same time that Tom and me were doing that in New Haven, Peter Yarrow was the head of the Folk Song Society at Cornell University.
Right.
And we followed very different paths.
Yes.
But that's interesting as can be.
Yeah. Well, I remember a hoot one Sunday afternoon at the Village Gate. Now, the Village Gate was further up the pay scale than we were playing. They had people like Miriam Makeba, and Pete played there now and then. So it was you didn't play there regularly. I got to play there once opening for Miriam Makeba, but Art Lugoff, who owned the place, and it was a much larger venue than most of the ones that we played. He lent it to us on Sunday afternoons once a month to do a hoot to raise money for Broadside Magazine, which was kind of a mimeographed topical / political song periodical that printed a lot of our songs. Blown in the Wind was first appeared in Broadside. And so we were all sitting on stage in a semicircle, and Len Chandler was 2 seats down from me, and in between Len and me was this little drink of water from New Jersey, little girl, 13 years old, guitar was as big as she was, and she got up and sang this song that was so full of attitude that Len and I were convulsed, and we just made her go back and do another song right away, which she didn't ordinarily do. And of course that was Janice Ian, 13 years old and going on 30. She was, if you listen to that song of hers, I just did 2 years of tours with Janice, who's my pal.